In the next part, we're going to walk through some very specific takeaways that we look for on pages. We're making sure that in our audit, especially for people that pump out a lot of content, it's not uncommon for lawyers to have thousands and thousands of pages on their website. You can imagine blogging a couple times a week for years, getting granular with practice area pages, anything from being granular to news to articles. I mean, it just goes on forever. It's not that crazy to have in this situation, in this audit, 1,235 pages on the website. So going through, we still are very curious about what pages are actually converting. You can see in this one when goals are set up via analytics and any other tracking software or analytics software that you use. We see here that out of the 1,235 pages, while maybe a lot are informative and people navigate elsewhere, you're still talking about less than 10% of the pages that actually convert from both a form submission and a call standpoint, which we were able to track. A lot of these pages, maybe when we go through and we're wondering why they don't convert when they are, set up for conversion and they do have an intention to convert, we're looking for a call to action, whether it be towards the top or at the bottom, seeing if there's a contact form that's embedded within it, seeing if it's a little bit of a drab or a bland page that might turn people away, such as not having any imagery or the formatting is kind of poor. There's some situations where a lot of these pages don't have enough traffic to kind of warrant getting contacts, and we revisit those pages. So when we see that there's plenty of pages on anyone's website that frankly just don't get a lot of traffic, there's typically, I don't have an acronym for it yet, but maybe a mnemonic device that'll come up with at some point, that it's either you can refresh the page. Maybe it's outdated, not relevant, and lost some grounding. Google doesn't think it's relevant any longer. So you can refresh the page, adding more content, more keywords. You didn't really do any on-site or on-page optimization at any point. So maybe it needs internal and external links. Maybe you have to revisit its meta information. Maybe the title or description isn't really drawing in the traffic that it needs. You want to possibly refresh it. There's situations where it's completely dated page. It's something that occurred 5 years ago and it's not relevant anymore. So you can either completely redirect it. You might redirect it if it perhaps got some links in the past and you can pass along that authority to another page. You might be able to consolidate it. Meaning that this page has a relevant topic to something else and you can kind of just beef up that page instead of just completely getting rid of it, which is really your last option. If it's something that is just not relevant, you don't think it has any purpose on your website any longer, you might just straight up delete a page. And the reason that you would delete a page is because all things created equal, Google and your sitemap are crawling your website, and you really just don't want to encourage robots or crawlers to crawl or spend time crawling a page that's not relevant and is not going to earn any value for you and your website when it can be crawling another page. So those are some of the factors. And as we've discussed in the past, we look at H tags, lower word count, different thresholds nowadays. We've talked about internal, external links, duplicate content plagiarisms, pretty much everything we're talking about here.